Hey folks, how's it going? Today I'm going to change the oil on my wife's 2015 Honda CRV. We are also going to pop this open and clean out the K&N Air Filter. There's also an in-cabin air filter. We'll grab that as well. I replaced that with a K&N too, so we can clean those instead of replace them, save a little bit of money. This isn't going to be just a quick and dirty oil change. I'm going to do this with the care and attention that anyone should on their own vehicle. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the oil level, because that's going to be an indication of what to look out for here. Oh, and that is low. Yeah, that is low. Much earlier this year, I replaced the timing chain on this, which also meant dropping the oil pan and then putting new sealant on all that stuff when it went back together, a new gasket for the valve cover. So, we've been kind of keeping an eye on things to make sure that all that stuff got resealed properly. But the oil being low right now, I mean, it's kind of almost 120,000 miles on it, so that could be normal, but we're going to do some extra checks to make sure it's not leaking from anything we did earlier this year. While we're in here, quick on top, might as well just check all the fluids. This is the coolant, looks fine. Washer fluid, we're not going to get to see the level, but we'll top it off either way. Brake fluid looks fine. This does not have power steering fluid on it. It's got an electric power steering, and you cannot check the transmission fluid on this one. So, guess that's it. Let's jack it up, get under it. One of the things I love about working on this car versus my truck is that it has just one single jack point for the whole front of the car. Then again, my truck is lifted, so a lot of times I don't even have to jack it up, but this is going to make it a lot more comfortable for us. I'm rotating the tires today too, so that is another reason I'm jacking it up a little higher than I probably have to, but I'm not going to show you all that. Okay, this right here, this is the oil drain plug, and I replaced it the last time I did work on this when I was doing the timing chain and everything. Replaced this with one with a magnetic tip on it, so it can it'll be interesting to see if anything came off on that. Let's look at this here. That does not look too great. There's some metal on there, which is not good. You really don't want to see any at all, but I don't know. Maybe on a vehicle with 120,000 on it, that's kind of normal. Let me know, please. I know I was told once that engines are built with such tolerance these days that you should not be getting any metal at all like that, but let me know what you think. Okay, I got the drain plug back on. 30 foot-pounds, by the way, is what they want you to torque that to. If you got a wrench, might as well give it a click. So now for the messy part, getting that filter off. always make sure you check that this gasket here came off with the old filter. Sometimes this will stick on the car, and if you don't realize it, you'll put the new one on over it and you'll get leaks for sure. Check that every time. Here's the new filter, going with a Wix. This car needs a 57356, and now we're going to pre-fill it with oil. This is going to let all the membranes and things in there get good and saturated before it gets hit with full pressure from the engine. You can see as I fill it up, all the bubbles that come up to the surface. Really takes a while for the whole thing to get in there. Now we do have to keep in mind too, on this car it's mounted about like this at an angle, so we don't want to be spilling once it's in there. Actually, this might be a pretty good spot already. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Just checking out this old oil. It smells like two-cycle exhaust, like a snowmobile exhaust or anything, which means there's gas getting into it. So I'm not sure what that means exactly, though. Probably worn piston rings or something. I don't know. Someone can let me know exactly. It doesn't look milky or anything, though. If it looked gray or milky at all, that would mean it's mixing with coolant, which would indicate a bad head gasket. That's a big deal. So we don't have any of that. Just a gassy smell and a low oil level. So those two things together, someone let me know what you think. All right, old oil drained, filter swapped, plugs back in. We're ready to fill this up. And check it out. I got 2 cool new funnels. Yeah, looking forward to that. And I'll use this one. So I'm using this Mobil 1 truck and SUV. I've done a bit of reading up on Mobil 1, and it seems like a really good quality oil. But let me know what you think. Looking for opinions all the time. Maybe the price isn't worth the quality. I don't know. Also, the fact that it says truck and SUV, I don't know. Does that? Well, I don't know what that actually means. What do they do to make it special in that way? All right, that was about 4 quarts. I'll just let that settle for a minute and then we'll see what the dipstick says. All right, just top it off. Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, that's good as it gets. Great. Oil change complete. Okay, so now we need to reset the oil life. So I'm just gonna turn the ignition on. I see we're down to 15%. I gotta remember how to do this here. Pretty sure you just use this guy, just like you'd reset trip mileage. There it is. Just have to hold it for about 10 seconds. Maybe hit it again. Not. Holding it for 10 seconds. Okay, and maybe hold it again. There it goes. Okay, there it is. Hold it for 10 seconds till it starts flashing, and hold it down again. Now we should be good. Yep, great. Good stuff. All right, last thing I would normally do after an oil change is put a can of this Berryman's into the gas tank. This just helps to keep the injectors clean, and well, you can read it right here. It cleans the entire fuel system, intake valves, fuel pump. So, but I'm not going to do it right now because Jessie's pretty low on. She's got like less than a quarter tank in there, and I don't want this to be running too rich. It'll smoke and stuff. So I'll just have her put this in the next time she fills up. All right, let's get after this K&N Air Filter. This just has snaps all around it. Are there only 3? Yep, there's only 3. Look at that. That comes out just enough. You can pull this out of there. Let's take a look. It's not great, but it's not terrible. While we're cleaning filters, let's also do this in-cabin air filter. So if you just drop the glove box, then inside here, let's see if I remember how to do this. There's a tab somewhere. Is that it? No, it's up here. Well, where'd it go? Oh, I think it's just... Oh, yep, there it is. So you just have to squeeze the whole thing. That's why I needed 2 hands to do it. So you gotta, with 2 hands, push that in and push that in, and then this whole thing drops down farther. And, oh, yep, there we go. Also snaps off of that, apparently. And then, once we're in here, what is it? It's this, right? Is that it? Yeah, just like that. So right here, I'm just going to pull it this way. That comes right off. And there's the filter. No tools required. Wow. Look at that. This is way dirtier than the engine air filter. Look at that, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm glad we're cleaning this up. Okay, so what you'll need to clean these is some K&N air filter cleaner and some K&N air filter oil. So first thing you're going to do, and I just bought some big bottles of this at one point, and these have lasted me years and years, maybe close to 10 years even. I only have 2 vehicles, and I clean the filter like once a year. So this stuff is not super, I don't remember how expensive it is, but it's cheaper than replacing an air filter all the time. So good stuff. So first I'm just going to kind of get some of this obvious stuff out of here. Anyway, okay, so we're going to spray this up really good with the cleaner. Both sides. Same thing here. Good. Now we're going to let that sit and soak for about 10 minutes. And here's a pro tip. Don't spray it over your engine if you don't want it covered in that cleaner stuff. All right, so I just rinsed these off with just some lukewarm, low pressure water. So they're literally just the kitchen sink. Don't use a garden hose or anything. And you can see now they've kind of lost that signature red color, which is which means it's working. We washed all that red oil off of it. So now these have to dry, just air dry completely. So I'm going to set them off to the side, rotate them every once in a while. Probably going to take at least an hour or so for these to get dry enough to put back in. Okay, this is good and dry now. So now I'm going to take this stuff, this K&N air filter oil, and we're just going to coat the whole thing with this stuff. You see it kind of turns it a red color. So we want a uniform red color on everything. And I'm kind of spraying it at an angle here. And I'll turn it around. The same thing from this side. Make sure to get way down in there. Turn it over, do the same thing. I'll let that sit for about 20 minutes. We'll come back and touch up any light spots and stick it back in the car. All right, let's see if I can get this filter back in here one-handed. It's a little wobbly. I think it's gonna go this way. Yeah, it feels better. Okay. Now this guy, in theory, just snaps back on there. Yep. Done. Put this guy back up. Reconnect that. One-handed. No tools. Do it yourself, guys. All right, plopping this guy back in. Did it go that way? No, it goes this way. Just like that. It's that easy. Look at that. Done. No tools. Just some cleaning products and oil. Easy, cheap, do it yourself.